YouTube, it is your favorite gamer here, Above Average Cody, coming at you with a 1v1 video. That's right, the biggest flex of a gunfight ever when you win the 1v1 on Halo Infinite, or really any first-person shooter. Today I'm going to go over all the tips and tricks I have to help you guys win more 1v1s. Now, this is not going to contain any groundbreaking knowledge you didn't already know, but there are a lot of things that everybody, including me and even the pros, forget to do in 1v1s, and sometimes it can be the matter of life or death in the game. Not in real life, luckily, specifically in the game, guys. But I'm going to break this up into a bunch of categories. So initially, we're going to go over three basic parts. We're going to go over the aim, we're going to go over the movement, and then we're going to go over the finisher, how you are going to finish your 1v1. And then after that, we're going to mix in three more technical things, including grenades, equipment, and exiting the 1v1 that you can work into certain 1v1s depending on the situation and obviously what equipment you have mid-game. Alrighty guys, let's get into it. The first thing I want to bring up is the aim, the trick that everybody already knows in Halo Infinite, but for some reason everybody forgets. I forget quite often, guys. You want to be aiming for the chest level. That is because no matter where you shoot them, when they are at full shield, you do the same amount of damage. So you want to just aim for the biggest part of mass until their shield is cracked. So you're going to aim for the chest because it is the widest thing to hit. So once you break their shield, then you are going to snap up to the head, and it will be a one-hit shot or burst, if you will. Now, the reason you don't want to just aim for the head the whole time, guys, is because you do not receive any bonus for hitting the character in the head. You do the same exact amount of damage as you do in the chest, and also it is a much smaller target to hit, so you are much more likely to whiff the shots over the top and to the left and the right if you are only aiming for the head. So again, guys, aim for the biggest body of mass, and that will allow much more room for you in the strafe to just land bullets overall. And one quick little thing on the aim, guys, try to react as quickly as possible. I realize this is a very obvious thing to say, but the faster you can snap to an enemy and land that first bullet, the better chance you have of using that aim and hitting more bullets to win the gunfight much easier and much faster than the other guy even has a chance to get you low. Next up, guys, branching into the movement of the 1v1. You do not want to stand stationary, you do not want to back up in a straight line, and you do not want to move straight at them going for the melee. You want to strafe side to side. You can do short strafes, you can do long strafes, you can even strafe in one direction depending on how the enemy is moving, depending on where the cover is. Maybe you get caught out in the open here and you want to strafe in one direction to the right. Maybe you want to hit them with a couple jiggles and then get to the cover. Just be tricky with your strafes. I've done a ton of videos on Halo Infinite strafing, controller settings videos to help you with your strafe. You can find them all in the Halo Infinite playlist, but just make sure to be tricky, guys. Do not just always go in one direction, you know, be tricky. Think about it. Change up your direction, and obviously strafe such that he has trouble surviving. If he is strafing into cover, guys, try to strafe in a direction such that you get an angle on the cover, which obviously is this pillar in this situation. And also, guys, with the strafe, you're going to want to work in crouches. Now, the crouches make it so that the person aiming for the high chest and the neck area misses completely. And obviously, I say this all the time in my gunfight videos for Halo, guys. The enemy does not know what you are doing until you do it. And chances are they are aiming for your head, especially when the shields are cracked. So that's when I like to throw in a little crouch strafe. You know, you can even throw like jiggles, you know, go to the right, go down. Just be sure to strafe and throw in those crouches because they don't know what you're doing, guys. They don't know what your plan is. They don't know that you are playing chess while they are trying to play checkers, and they are going to miss way more bullets if you're being tricky with the strafe, you're throwing in those crouches, and just having that insane 1v1 movement in your gunfights. Next up, guys, we are going in for the finish. There are quite a few generic things you can do to earn a lovely finish in a 1v1. But there's really, like, simple methods. We're going to get into more with, like, the equipment and stuff like that, but we're going to start with the basics. Again, either snap up to the head and shoot them for the one-shot burst, as I showed you earlier, guys, or in a perfect situation, go for that melee, guys. Go for the melee finisher. And 343 actually made it harder to win melee fights, but if you can get them low enough where you have the one-shot melee and you are not low enough to die, you win that fight every time, guys. Now, it is in ranked a 2 burst to the person melee. That's roughly 2 bursts. I missed some of the second burst there. But if you can hit 2 clean bursts to a melee, guys, it is a kill every time. I mean, that would be the quickest 1v1 ever, and it doesn't really incorporate the aim and the movement as much. But just think about it. If you're in the right situation, go for the melee. But don't forget the first thing I told you. Do not run straight at them. Once you run straight at them, guys, you are the easiest target to hit, like, ever in the game. Like, you see people in the bot lobbies running straight at you. So just remember, go for the melee if you feel like it's right. Other than that, guys, go for the snap up to the head after shooting the chest. And if they are going for the melee, just back up. That's the only time I'll give you the cue to back up. Because if you can dodge the melee and snap up to hit the headshot, guys, you are going to feel like the best player on the map because they look like the idiot that's running straight at you, and you are hitting that final headshot as the finisher. It's awesome. All right, now we're going to get a little more complicated, guys. We're going to jump into grenades. We just did a whole video on the art of throwing grenades in Halo Infinite, but we're just going to briefly bring up the entry grenades, the mid gunfight grenades, and the exit grenades, all right? So, if you're about to start a 1v1, guys, throw a grenade, try to get some initial damage in, preferably not to yourself, but use a grenade before you enter the fight and then start popping up shots to win the 1v1 very quickly. Now, during the fight grenades, guys, I don't always recommend, but if you have some cover to jiggle around, you may be able to put a couple shots in, throw a grenade on the ground, and then finish the gunfight. I'm out of grenades, forgive me, guys. But yeah, throw it during the fight, hit him with a grenade, and then finish the fight. And then obviously, exit grenades, guys. Either you're about to kill him or something, maybe he's right here, he's one shot, throw the grenade, get around the cover, hopefully the grenade kills him. Or if you're about to run away, which we're going to cover at the end here, you'll throw a grenade or two at the ground and then just get the heck out of there. You're not necessarily looking to kill him there. If you do, that's awesome. But mainly you're just looking to put in the maximum amount of damage and keep his shields from recharging while you scuttle away to wherever you're going on the map and your team can hopefully pick up the kill. Next up, guys, is equipment. Now, this is going to require you being very mindful of what you have in your inventory, but there are very fun ways you can incorporate equipment into finishing 1v1s. Of course, you have the grapple to the enemy, hit him with that melee. Very easy, very fun. If you hit him directly with the grapple, you get a harpoon medal, and then obviously it's just a quick way to get the finisher. I don't recommend doing that if you're the same health or you are lower health than him, because chances are he's going to pop you while you're grappling to him, because it does take a second, or you're just going to get an even trade when, trust me guys, you've been watching these videos, you probably have better aim than the people in your lobbies, at least in most cases. So just go for the headshot, don't go for the tricky grapple unless it makes sense. Next up, guys, the repulsor. This one's very hard to do. I wouldn't recommend it too much, but if you can bounce them off a wall, you get a pancake medal. It is very tough to do, but if you bounce them and they hit the wall, it does do a small amount of damage, so you have to get them literally like one bullet away from dying to do so, but you will get a pancake if you're able to kill them by smashing them into a wall. However, you do not have to use the repulsor as a finisher, guys. You can use it to plow them away from you. Again, if they're going for that melee, maybe you're losing the fight, you may be able to get the repulsor away and then land enough bullets where you can turn the gunfight you were down in into a win. And briefly, guys, I just really want to mention the thruster, because you can not only use them to throw in some very tricky strafes, but you can also use them to close the gap to get a melee kill. And this is something I see not enough people do, is use the thruster to close the gap. Literally, you dash right at them. They don't even have time to react, guys, and you can just get the easy melee kill. You can also use it to, again, with the repulsor, avoid the melee and get back away while you land more bullets. Alrighty, guys, I've hit you with just about every single way you can get the upper hand in a 1v1, win the 1v1, and really just make your enemy look silly and just completely look like the better player here on the map in a 1v1. But finally, I want to talk about the instance of exiting the 1v1. Now, this is very situational. If you're in open space, don't even think about doing this. But sometimes, guys, you go down in a gunfight, say you're one shot and they're coming at you. You have to try to get away. Now, this is going to be where you use your cover. If you're communicating with your teammates, you're going to call out to your teammates, maybe one shot, maybe I'm one shot, need help, and then call out, you know, low tower, top mid, whatever you have to call out to get your teammates there. Or you can do what I mentioned earlier, the exit grenades, guys. If they're running at you, go for the stick, throw them at the ground. And honestly, even if you have to and you're really about to lose, guys, throw them at your feet. Just throw them at your feet because it may damage you, but you were already planning on dying. So what is the loss of possibly getting a grave kill and finishing them with what obviously a lot of people call death grenades? So literally, if you think you're gonna die, guys, hucks them at your feet. This also works great if you know there's multiple enemies around you, because it's just gonna deal damage to all of them. And even if you're no longer on the map, if your team is around there, it's much easier for them to pick up kills on people that are already damaged, rather than going in against people full health because you didn't do anything to cause any damage. But guys, I really hope all these things help you in your journey to winning more 1v1s. Obviously, there's a lot of things you can do to practice these. Personally, I recommend doing what I am doing literally right now. Go into Academy Training Mode. Again, it's where I record all the videos. I've done videos on this mode. It is probably the greatest mode I've ever seen in a first-person shooter for practicing, because you can do literally everything. You can adjust the guns you have, the equipment, everything, guys. So everything we just practiced, you can easily just go in, change it, boom. You want to practice your grapples, switch to a grapple, throw it on, and then just practice around the map, things like that. But you can do everything with the bot. You can adjust their strafing difficulty. I had it on the highest just for the sake of the video and showing you, like, the trickiness some 1v1s can have. You can adjust the aim, you can turn the shooting off, the grenades off, the strafing on or off, and then you can even have the mirror movement, which is kind of bugged at the moment. I don't believe they've adjusted it yet, but that'll be really cool. So if you feel like you're getting some nasty strafes, some nasty crouch strafes, you can put on the mirrored movement and kind of have the bot mimic what you're doing, so you can kind of like play against yourself, I guess, in this training mode. But yeah, guys, practice the 1v1s. Let me know what you think of these tips. Comment below if they helped you out. And please, let me know if I missed anything, guys. I say this in every video. If there's something helpful you have to say, leave it in a comment. I'll throw a heart on it, and it'll jump to the top so that other people can read your comments and get help from your tips down below. But that does it, guys. A lot of Halo content on the channel, tips and tricks, live streams, and even some Call of Duty here and there, guys. So please subscribe down below. Leave a like on the video so that more people may be able to find this 1v1 tips and tricks. And then obviously, guys, comment, video ideas, suggestions, tips that I missed, whatever you got for me, guys. Hit me down below in a comment. And obviously, channel memberships, guys. Feel free to join if you'd like to support the channel monetarily. But that does it. I appreciate you all very much, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next one.